Hi, Nancy Baker here. I'm going to show you how to go from the Cheminformatics dashboard with a list of chemicals and to look up more information about these chemicals. In this case, of the example I'm going to show you is to look up vendor counts and whether or not these chemicals are sold as Sigma-Aldrich according to PubChem. I did a query of a set of PFAS chemicals, and now I'm going to export it to Excel. And actually, I've already exported it to Excel. I'm just going to open up my Excel file that I just exported. Here it is. All right, so what I need to do now is take this data and put it in the Abstract Sifter. I happen to have the Abstract Sifter open to the main sheet. Whoops, there it is. And for what we're doing now, we're not going to be doing any queries on literature, so I'm just going to open up a blank sheet, and I'm going to paste in my results from the Cheminformatics dashboard. I am using Abstract Sifter version 8, which has some very new functionality. Please contact me or Tony Williams if you want a copy of this very much beta version of the Abstract Sifter, because it does things way beyond the literature, and that's part of what I'm going to show you now. In version 8, there's a ribbon here called EPA Custom, and this has many different functions built into these ribbon buttons that will help you go out to the outside world and get information about chemicals. And the one we're going to look at now is PubChem, but we're also going to look at some of the DTS XID internal dashboard functionality as well. So my goal today is to figure out, I'm going to clean this off, delete that, to figure out whether these chemicals are available through Sigma-Aldrich. I'm going to insert some columns here just to keep it clean. And the first thing I need to do, because Sigma-Aldrich information is on PubChem, I need to get the PubChem CID. So I'm going to select these rows and these cells here, and this is where I want the PubChem CID to go, and the function that puts it there needs input. So let's go over here to Other Names and IDs and click on PubChem CID. This is the version of PubChem CID retrieval that goes against our dashboard APIs. Which column contains the DTS XID? That's A. That's the input to our function. The output is the CID. And there are the CIDs from our dashboard information. Great, so now we have CIDs. Now we can use those CIDs to go get whether or not this chemical is available through Sigma. So now I'm going to use this PubChem button here and go all the way down to this last thing. I just put it in this morning actually. Is Sigma a vendor for this specific chemicals? All right, so you need to point to where the CID is, that's column D, so it knows where to look. And now we have true, false, and I'll put here Sigma, question mark. So these don't have Sigma as a vendor, and let's just go ahead and check some of them, make sure. Here's the PubChem record, and I'm going to click on chemical vendors. And, okay, just skimming them, I don't see Sigma. Okay, so we can assume that's correct. Here's one that does have Sigma as a vendor. There's Sigma-Aldrich. This routine is actually just looking for the word Sigma because sometimes these vendor names are not written all the same, so they might have a dash, it may not. Let's check one more. Okay, so there we go. So this is whether or not it's Sigma. There's also the option to just find out how many vendors. Vendor counts. And D again, CID. This takes a little bit longer, because it didn't take that long. Okay, so let's look at this one and make sure we have 5 vendor counts, chemical vendors. There are 5 vendors. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that's just kind of fun. I'm going to go ahead and put data, no, filter on that, and I'm going to sort this oral acute mammalian toxicity column. And I'm just going to select these chemicals again. I don't have to select by name, and I'm going to show you something kind of cool. Again, I click on EPA custom. That gives me all these things here. I'm going to do tiles. So where's the DTSX ID? This is all my input to my function. Name in column, that's C. Colorize with column G. Label in column, that's also going to be C. And look how I sorted by the oral toxicity. So I'm going to get the highest chemicals first. What that functionality, tiling functionality does, it gives you pictures of all your structures, and it arranges them in the order that was on this sheet, this order, and it colorizes the border on the structure with the color that is in whatever column you specified. This might be sort of visually interesting. It provides some kind of information visually for you. Anyway, so that's it for today. So now you know how to get Sigma yes or no values, true, false, is it in Sigma or not. You know how to get vendor counts, and you know how to do some tiling. So this is very much in beta, this version of the Abstract Sifter, so feedback is really important. If you have other things you need, or you have comments or find errors, I would really appreciate it if you'd let me know. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.